Hello, welcome to Family Movie Night, where we'll be talking about what we watch for Family Movie Night. I'm Mike, and today we are talking about Cinderella. Yeah, we're gonna go all the way back to the old school animated Cinderella from Disney. It is from 1950. The premise of this, and man, it is 75 years old. Oh, I did not know that when I decided to record about this one because we watched a couple movies for family movie night this week. So with the youngest, we watched Tangled and we watched Cinderella. So I'll probably do those in back-to-back weeks. But with this one, the premise is when Cinderella's cruel stepmother prevents her from attending the royal ball, she gets some unexpected help from the lovable mice Gus and Jacques and from her fairy godmother. That's a bit of a deceptive premise because those two aren't the only mice that help her. Plenty of other mice help her. So those two get singled out because they're the ones that are de facto main characters, I guess. So a couple of things that kind of stood out upon rewatch of this many times that I've seen Cinderella. So man, Cinderella gets a raw deal in this. It's rough to watch because she is just nothing but kind to everybody, and she's doing her best to make do with the situation that she's in. This movie really should be called Gaslighting, the movie, because this is the stepmother and the stepsisters are just gaslighting Cinderella left and right, and it's kind of hard to watch at times. I will give Cinderella credit for this. She has a couple moments where she is sneaky funny and sneaky mean. Uh, there's one scene where she is listening, or it's the part where she's singing the Sing Sweet Nightingale song, which is a really pretty song, even though I don't understand why it's here. But there's a part where she's going upstairs to tell her stepsisters that that everybody's invited to the ball, and she's like, "Well, I'm going to interrupt the singing lessons." Like, oh, you're sneakily kind of mean about this, and I'm all here for it. So, in addition to that, the whole thing with the prince, this is where I will give the live action version a little bit of credit, mainly because it does do a pretty good job of explaining, kind of what the deal is with the prince. Whereas here, he is just a guy who is just kind of a jerk about everything. One of my favorite parts in this whole movie is when he's at the ball. All the maidens of the kingdom are instructed to come, and he just looks up at the Duke and the King and he yawns. And I am all here for that level of pettiness because that was just a baller move right there. The music in this is great. This reminded me a little bit of some of the of Gigi's first performance that she did for theater, and we reminisced about that because there was a little dance that I remembered more of the moves from that than she did, so that was kind of funny. But overall, this one holds up. This holds up a lot better as opposed to some of the other Disney princess movies that are out there now. So I really appreciate that, even though the premise of this has always been kind of odd to me, but the mice make for a nice addition. Not just the mice, just all the animals in general. Bruno, the horse, like even Lucifer kind of makes for an interesting character in all of this as well. But the stepmother and the stepsisters are pretty heinous in this, so it's they get their comeuppance, which is weird because one of the things that I always thought was interesting about this is that why on earth would they be so upset about Cinderella when she's got the best chance to make do with make do with the prince, and have a chance to get them out of their situation as it is. But instead they chose violence, and they kind of get into a situation where they're in the find out phase. So overall, upon rewatching this for a 75-year-old movie, this is still really great, really outstanding. That scene where Cinderella gets changed, or she gets her gown put on by the fairy godmother, is still just a beautiful sequence. Yeah, like I think this was one in particular where I think I watched the "This Is Love" sequence where she's dancing with the prince at the ball a little bit more closely, and there's just the animation in that is really gorgeous, and I hope that we get more stuff like that coming up down the road. But overall, this was a fun rewatch. Mimi didn't really like it, but it's still very much an exciting movie, a lot of fun, and definitely one worth checking out. That's going to do it for this episode of Family Movie Night. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website at spdmcrew.com. Follow us on Letterboxd at MLHilty2452 and follow our list labeled Family Movie Night. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at HiFlyerCreative.com. Check out our other shows on the network. We are always expanding. We're always looking for more shows, more partnerships. So, if you've got a podcast idea, you're interested in being part of the SPDM crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, happy watching, friends.